Hi folks, it's Richard from Inclusive Driving. I did a video in the early hours of this morning about towing trailers and how the law is changing. As it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I think I made the video more detailed and perhaps more complicated than it needed to be, because actually we don't need to know about the history of towing vehicles in great detail. All we really need to know about is what the law's changing to on the 15th of November. But the main reason for making the video was the media and a lot of drivers are saying that, or seem to be under the impression that you will be suddenly able to tow a trailer when before you weren't allowed to. That's not the case. Regardless of when you passed your car driving test, you have always been able to tow trailers up to a certain limit. Now, the way those limits were worked out was a little bit complicated, and it was based on when you passed your driving test. So what's happening is the weight limit for trailers is being made more generous. It's not the case that suddenly you will be able to drive and tow a trailer when the day before you couldn't. Now, let me be clear. If you want to tow a trailer, I think you should go and get some instruction, go and get some training, because there are some basic skills with trailers that you need to know about. So even though there's no test required for heavier trailers, I'd still go and get some training. So what's happening on the 15th of November? Prior to that, you could tow a trailer up to either 750 kilograms, or in other circumstances it could be heavier but related to the weight of the car. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, because it's far more complicated than it needs to be. So all I'm really saying on this video is the media are hyping it up a little bit. They're saying that it's going to create danger on the roads. Well, I think you should go and get some training if you want to tow a trailer, but you have always been able to tow trailers anyway. What's my other message here? The new law, the way it's worded, says that you can tow a trailer up to a weight of 3,500 kilograms. Now, be careful. That's the maximum limit that you will be able to tow according to your license. However, every vehicle also has its own restriction on how heavy a trailer can be. And it's likely that if you're driving a small hatchback, then the maximum weight you'll be able to tow will be somewhere between 450 and 750 kilograms. If you're driving a more family-sized car, you'll probably get a more generous weight limit. You'll get a more generous weight limit according to your car handbook. That's where to check. It's not the case that we're going to see people driving a tiny little Fiat Punto or a Vauxhall Corsa and then dragging behind a 3-axle trailer with like a dumper truck on it. That's not going to happen, because that exceeds the capability of that car. So it's turned into a rant, hasn't it? That's my rant. The media have hyped up the danger, saying that suddenly you'll be able to tow a trailer when before you couldn't, but that's not the case. You have always been able to tow a trailer. Doesn't matter when you passed your driving test. You were just limited to certain weights based on the date you passed your test and the type of vehicle and the weight of the vehicle that you were driving. So that's all for now, and I'll see you on another video very soon.